Welcome to day 2 of the Wall-to-Wall Sports Buckeye Draft. I'm Dave Holmes. Our general managers Roy Hall and Beanie Wells are picking the best NFL roster they can using only Ohio State players. If you missed day 1, let's get you caught up on who they took so far. No surprise with Joey Bosa and Zeke Elliott going 1-2. Then Eli Apple, Darren Lee, Taylor Decker, Von Bell, Michael Thomas, and Adolphus Washington shook things up. But let's take a look at the green room. So many great players still available and waiting to be drafted. Cardale Jones, Tyvis Powell, Joshua Perry, among others. I'm joined now by Tim May of the Columbus Dispatch. Tim, give me your top 3 guys still available as we go to day 2.
Well, as I'm looking at it, Nick Vanette. I think he's a no-brainer. He should go early in this day, and because he's a tight end who's proven he also can block, but tight ends just changed the game in the National Football League. Braxton Miller, just on the fact that, wow, big upside there.
Skills.
Somebody can figure out how to harness it. And then Joshua Perry, he's going to be solid. I told him this a couple of weeks ago. He's going to be solid. He's going to be in the league for a while once he gets to a team because he is a classic linebacker.
Prediction here, first guy off the board, you think?
I think it'll be Nick Vanette, but that's just me talking.
All right, day 2 is officially underway. The pick is in. Let's go to Commissioner Dom Taveri.
With the 9th pick in the Wall-to-Wall Sports Buckeye Draft, Roy Hall selects Braxton Miller, wide receiver.
Now, finally, I'm a little more surprised than you that Braxton lasted this long. I feel like he could be the steal of the draft. A little hesitation on your part.
Yeah, it could be the steal of the draft, but he could be. People are still scratching their heads about what they saw.
What is he?
About what they saw last year when he did make the move to hybrid back, wide receiver, whatever you want to call it. Just don't call him late to the huddle. I think it's a little bit of a reach based on what you saw from him as from what he's going to be in the NFL. I mean, he's the 2-time Chicago Tribune Silver Football Award winner as the MVP of the Big Ten before he got hurt. So he's big upside, big upside. We keep using that with all these guys. Him especially, he's still got to prove himself.
Well, Beanie Wells is now on the clock. He went running back with his first-round pick, then 3 straight defensive players. Where do you think Beanie goes next?
Well, I'm going with Nick Vanette.
You like Vanette?
I mean, tight ends, tall tight ends who can run really well and catch the football and also block at the point of attack. They are rare. I think Nick Vanette is a guy that's going to play for a while. If he gets to a team, I think he has that kind of talent. He's only scratched the surface in some respects. I really think he will be the next guy off the board.
Well, based on what we see here, we might have our answer. Cardale Jones just got a call. And if someone went to the effort to find out the number on that 1970s rotary, I think it might be his time.
With the 10th pick in the Wall-to-Wall Sports Buckeye Draft, Beanie Wells selects Cardale Jones, quarterback.
Tim, he has the size, he has the arm, he doesn't have the reps. What do you think of Cardale Jones?
He has the shrug ability also, and I'm not talking about Joey Bosa. I mean the ability to shrug off would-be sackers like Joey Bosa. Clearly he's a project from the standpoint of some people's minds, but I keep reminding people this is a guy with all the tools you want from a physical standpoint. And then in the most clutch situation ever, 3 games at the end of the 2014 season, he delivered the goods. He had a few mistakes along the way, but he showed he could take a licking and keep on ticking. And that's what stands out about Cardale Jones. He's got that flick. He can flick the ball 50 yards. You and I probably can't throw it 50. And, I mean, it's just a rare talent. Somebody's got to take a flyer, and he did.
And the price tag is right here, right? Kayla Anderson standing by with one very happy quarterback. Kayla?
Thanks so much, Dave. And we are now joined by quarterback Cardale Jones, and he just drafted by Team Beanie Wells. What were your first thoughts when you heard you were going to Wells' team?
Then when he was going through the whole recruiting process and meeting with him, and then when he worked me out, man, he talked about how he like take shots downfield, and it's an honor and a blessing to play for him. And
you're the only quarterback, so this has got to feel pretty good to be the man.
It does, man. It does. So I'm just ready to get in the building, man, tomorrow and get out there. God is good, man.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing what you can do. Thanks so much, Cardale.
Thank you.
So it's time now for round 6. Roy Hall back on the clock. The green room very active once again. Remember, every pick that goes by is a lot of money. Tim, these guys waiting. They want to be drafted sooner than later. A lot of dollars here.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sitting here. I'm looking at Nick Vanette. I'm surprised he's still sitting in the green room. I mean, it makes no sense to me. And, of course, I don't know quite as much as these 2 esteemed general managers. But, I'm looking at Nick Vanette or Joshua Perry as being the next guy off the board.
Well, Tyvis Powell has a very big smile on his face right now. Let's find out why. Commissioner Taveri, take it away.
With the 11th pick in the Wall-to-Wall Sports Buckeye Draft, Roy Hall selects Tyvis Powell, safety.
And with that, Tyvis Powell becomes the 3rd defensive back to go in this draft. A little surprised here, Tim. Your thoughts?
Yeah, surprised or not. Here's the thing about Tyvis Powell. You and I both like him.
We love him.
I mean, I've always liked Tyvis Powell. he's got two of the great souvenirs in football history sitting in his room.
Two
Two
big
footballs.
ones.
You know, one from the end of the Michigan game when he saved that game with that interception of the two-point play, and the other against Alabama when he decided to run it out of the end zone. But so the guy can make plays. He also ran well.
Well, a little known fact, Tyvis Powell is a former intern here at 10 TV, but now he's the newest member of Team Roy Hall. Let's go back to Kayla.
Thank you so much. And we have defensive back Tyvis Powell dancing on set here because he just got drafted by Roy Hall.
Coach Roy Hall is a man of God himself. You know, I know we're going to get a great message just for him to believe in me, to make the big plays. I won't let you down, Roy.
And with him being an offensive guy, you're going to bring in some of your thoughts on the defensive side.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Him being a former Buckeye, he knows about the silver bullets. I'm going to bring that swag. We're going to take on a lot of good offenses. We're going to do very well.
Well, we're looking forward to what you can do out there. Thanks so much, Tyvis.
So just 3 picks remain in the wall-to-wall sports Buckeye draft. Tim, best player left on your big board.
I hate to say it again, it's kind of been repetitive, but Nick Vanette's
We're beating the drum, right?
I'm talking about a guy that proved himself in the season, but also proved himself in the offseason workouts. But, you know, I will not be surprised if Jalen Marshall or Joshua Perry is the next guy taken, because these general managers we're dealing here are just a little bit wacky.
No, the green room's starting to thin out a little, and it looks like the wait is over based on this reaction from Joshua Perry. Here's Commissioner Taberry to make it official.
With the 12th pick in the wall-to-wall sports Buckeye draft, Beanie Wells selects Joshua Perry, linebacker.
And I don't care how many times you see it, Tim, moments like this always get me choked up. Look at how special this moment is for Joshua Perry. What is going on in his head right now?
Oh, I thought you meant for Dom Taberry. It was a special moment.
For him, too.
But, yeah, what's going on is he's finally out of the green room. He finally got picked. You know, these people are getting very picky on who they're picking. And but he's out of there. And, you know, we watched Joshua Perry improve as a football player over the last 3 or 4 years. I told him, I said, that Michigan game, man, he was a man on a mission this year. He was slamming guys to the ground and playing with a passion really I hadn't seen before out of him. And, you know, he will – I keep using that line. I really think he's one of those guys that's going to play a while in the National Football League, barring injury, and because he's just a solid guy, a solid person off the field.
That's a key there. I want to ask you about that.
Smart, intelligent young man.
The league sometimes is short on character. Big character guy with Joshua Perry.
Yeah, big character guy. And they're, you know, of course, they're looking for that. And that's why that's one of the reasons they keep you around, too, for a while, sometimes past your prime. But bottom line is, you know, this was a very good pick.
Well, we loved covering Joshua Perry over the years. The Buckeyes' loss is Beanie Wells' gain. Let's go back over to Kayla.
Thank you, Dave. And guess who we have on set right now? It is Joshua Perry, just recently drafted by Team Beanie Wells. When you hear Beanie Wells, one of the greats, this has got to feel good to hear your name called by this guy.
Oh, it's so awesome. You know, I know he's going to take care of me. I know it's going to be a great program, and I'm just really excited to get to work.
Is this probably the best time of your life? I mean, how long have you thought about being drafted?
Man, since childhood, and so I'm just really looking forward to it again. A great like him, and then just the opportunity of a lifetime. I can't wait.
Awesome, Joshua. Good luck.
Thank you.
So, Tim, we are finally here, 7th and final round of the Wall-to-Wall Sports Buckeye Draft. Let's take a look at some of the players still on the board. Chase Ferris, Nick Vanette, Jalen Marshall, Joel Hale. A lot of talent left here on the board. Looks like Roy Hall has his final pick. What's a quick prediction?
I'm going to go Nick Vanette again. There
It
you
better
go.
be,
Curse.
right?
I was so good in the beginning and so wrong in the end.
Let's see what it is.
With the 13th pick in the Wall-to-Wall Sports Buckeye Draft, Roy Hall selects Nick Vanette, tight end.
Well, Tim, great value here. A lot of scouts compare him to Jeff Hireman, who didn't get to play with the Broncos because of an injury. But I feel like Nick Vanette's one of those guys who didn't get to showcase much in college, but will be a better guy in the NFL.
Well, he's one of those guys that really paid the price last year when Ohio State was trying to find its passing game most of the season. I'm not sure they ever totally found it, the Buckeyes. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say long-time pro because I've been saying it all along. I think he's got a good future ahead of him.
Good future. All right,
as opposed to behind him.
I appreciate that. Beanie Wells wasting no time making his final pick. What do we think here, Jalen? It's got to be time.
I would think it's going to be Jalen Marshall.
It's got to be. Commissioner Taberry back at the podium.
It's a steal.
And with the 14th pick in the Wall-to-Wall Sports Buckeye Draft, Beanie Wells selects Jalen Marshall, wide receiver.
Good for Jalen Marshall. I know he wasn't happy with that 40-yard dash at the Combine, but, Tim, he's not always about top-end speed. With Jalen, a lot of it is about elusiveness.
Absolutely, and it's also about guts. I mean, there aren't very many people in the world that can field punts. There aren't very many people in that group then that can field punts with an eye downfield and making a move. And yeah, it cost him a couple of times with a couple of gaffes, but you know, it just really takes a lot of guts to do what he does on the football field. And NFL scouts even these guys know that that's a rare commodity. Too bad he had such a poor 40-yard dash time at Indianapolis, but he's definitely a quick guy that can make you miss in a phone booth. And sometimes that's all that matters. You get 8 or 10 yards for a football team returning a punt, that's a first down.
They're good with that. The wait is over for Jalen Marshall. He's officially a member of Team Beanie Wells. Kayla.
Thank you, Dave. Well, we are excited to have Jalen Marshall with us now, just drafted by Team Beanie Wells. How does it feel, young man, to be going to really an OSU Legends team?
Oh, man, Coach Beanie, I'm ready. Like you said, it's an offensive team, and even though he was a running back, and I might have to switch to running back now, but, you know, I'm ready.
I was going to say, I mean, some even say you could maybe even go in there at the running back position with your versatility, but how do you plan on kind of making him incorporate the wide receiver position a little more?
You know, it's been a long process that I've been, you know, talking to Coach Beanie. We had 6 months to prepare for the draft since, you know, the last game, and I've been, you know, selling to him that I can be versatile, you know, real versatile, and I can come somewhere be like Beanie Wells. And hopefully he took that in consideration when he drafted me today.
I can see this being a very smooth offense in the future. Thanks so much, Jalen, and congratulations.
Let's take a look at the final rosters. First, Roy Hall, Joey Bosa, Eli Apple, Taylor Decker, Michael Thomas, Braxton Miller, Tyvis Powell, and Nick Van Nat, your steal of the draft, Tim. And for Beanie Wells, Zeke Elliott, Darren Lee, Von Bell, Adolphus Washington, Cardell Jones, Joshua Perry, and Jalen Marshall. Tim May, which team do you like better, Roy or Beanie?
I give Roy the edge, but it's just an edge because I really like the fact that he got the best player in the draft in Joey Bosa, and I think he helped himself tremendously offensively with Taylor Decker, Michael Thomas, and Nick Van Nat. He kind of got the triumvirate there from the standpoint of guys away from the ball who need to make something happen.
Well, here's where the draft gets interactive. We want to hear what you think. Get on 10tv.com/sports or just click on the sports tab at the top of the page. We want you to vote for which team you think is better. Special thanks to Roy Hall, Beanie Wells, and all the former Buckeyes for joining us on the first ever wall-to-wall sports Buckeye draft. For Tim May, Kayla Anderson, and Commissioner Dom Taberry, I'm Dave Holmes. We'll be right back after this.